Harrisburg High School defensive end Micah Parsons dons a Penn State hat announcing his intentions to attend the school during the NCAA college football early signing period, Wednesday, December 20, 2017, in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. JoHermit/PennLive.com via AP Associated Press. After the first early signing period for major college football, there are still some big prizes to be had on the recruiting trail. The three-day window came to close Friday with one more five-star recruit coming off the board. Georgia held what seems to be a commanding lead in the race for the mythical recruiting championship. Most schools have filled the majority of available spots in their classes. Using the 247 sports composite rankings, Georgia, Ohio State, Texas, Penn State and Miami will head toward the traditional signing period that starts the first Wednesday of February with the top 5 classes. Alabama, the recruiting kings for almost a decade, and Clemson are next. Georgia coach Kirby Smart landed 6 recruits rated 5 stars, the same number as Ohio State, Texas and Penn State combined. 28 players have 5-star rankings from 247 sports. The latest to sign was Terrace Marshall, a wide receiver from Bossier City, Louisiana, who was deciding between LSU and Texas A&M. Marshall chose to stay in state, a huge get for Coach Ed Orgeron and the Tigers. Unsigned 5-star prospects Patrick Surtain, CB, from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Surtain, whose was an NFL cornerback, might be the best at his position in the class. His top suitors include LSU, Florida State, Alabama, Ohio State and Clemson. Amon-Ra St. Brown, WR, from Anaheim, California. The brother of Notre Dame receiver Equanimeous St. Brown. Could he end up at Notre Dame with his brother or maybe somewhere in the Pac-12? Stanford, UCLA and USC are all in pursuit. Nicholas Petit-Frere, OT, of Tampa, Florida. Can new Gators coach Dan Mullen keep the top remaining offensive line in state? Michigan, Notre Dame, Alabama and Auburn are also possibilities. Devin Williams, WR, Lancaster, California. Another player who seems likely bound for the Pac-12. Oregon is the frontrunner, though Alabama has Tosh Lupois connections in the California could give the Tide a shot to steal. He could end up playing defensive back. Isaac Taylor Stewart, CB, San Diego, California. A 6'2" cornerback draws a lot of attention. USC will try to keep him in SoCal, while Texas A&M, Alabama and Georgia are trying to lure him to the SEC. Tyson Campbell, CB, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Surtain's teammate could be the last big addition to Miami's class. Or another player Georgia and Alabama will tussle over. More work to do. Most of the Power 5 schools signed upward of 15 players. Plenty were in the 20s. Teams with new coaches were predictably behind. Chip Kelly and UCLA had 11 signees in a class that ranked 33rd in the nation, according to 247 sports composite rankings. Willie Taggart and Florida State will go into the next stage of recruiting with 10 players signed in class ranked 34th. Jeremy Pruitt and Tennessee has 16 signees and a borderline top 25 class. Scott Frost and Nebraska made a splash by landing 4-star quarterback Adrian Martinez of California among its 14 signings. Chad Morris and Arkansas seems to have the most room to grow. The Razorbacks have 11 signees in a class ranked 69th. Copyright 2017 The Associated Press. All rights reserved. This material may not be published, broadcast, rewritten or redistributed.